Hello, Mr. Bonanno. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good. Welcome to the interview.
Thank you.
Okay, tell me a little about yourself.
I'm a very big sports fan. Ever since I was a little kid, I've never been able to escape sports, whether it was my mom dressing me up in the Yankees onesie 2 days after I was born, or making my sister play hockey with me in the house and making her play goalie. It just seems like sports has always been connected to me in one shape, one way or another. My mom used to always actually go out and get the newspaper for me just so I can read through the sports section. I would just tear through the local section, the world section, just go right to the sports section and look at the standings for the Devils and the Yankees. And I always knew where they were in the standings, and I always knew when their next game was. And I was always fascinated by the pictures. So even from a young age, sports has always meant a lot to me.
Very nice. How would you define failure?
To me, there is no such thing as failure. As cliche as that sounds, you're going to hear that a lot, but I truly mean that, because there will always be times in someone's life where the road is bumpy. No one's life is smooth sailing, whether it's breaking up with a girlfriend or a death in the family or whatever. There's always going to be bumps in the road, and the one thing that's very important for someone to learn is how to overcome those. So if you just think about, man, you know what, I failed, you can't do that. You'll never be able to get back up and succeed. And to me, success is very important in life, and you will need success in order to be happy. So to me, there isn't any failure.
Great. Why should we hire you?
Like I said, I think I'm very qualified for the job. I love sports and I love Twitter. Starting off with sports, I'm as big of a sports fan as I was back when I was 5 years old, watching SportsCenter over and over and over again. I still watch sports to this day and use Twitter usually for it. I always go on Twitter, to refresh my sports statistics, to see whether who got traded or whatnot, or to see any scores. There's always something going on in the sports world, especially, and Twitter is very helpful when it comes to that. And especially working in LA, I've always had a love for the city of Los Angeles, whether it was the weather, and coming from New Jersey, I've always wanted to get out of the winter weather. So I would be very motivated to work in the city of LA, and working with Twitter and sports in LA can't get any better for me.
Okay, and finally, why do you want this job?
Very good question. To me, I think Twitter and sports are basically a gift from God. There's no better pairing, and I think a lot of sports fans who do like sports and use Twitter can say the same thing. I want to be able to help sports fans use Twitter and teach them to use Twitter, and be able to put some tweets that sports fans have and put their insight on TV. I've been experienced with TV, working 4 years of TV in my high school. We had a TV station. I worked behind the desk and behind the scenes, so I know how to get people's attention on TV. And sports and Twitter, they collaborate very, very well. Like I mentioned before, Twitter is always up to date. There's something always going on, and it's the best way to get news for sports. And even, it doesn't have to be sports necessarily. It could be news or entertainment news for girls or whatever. It's just, Twitter is great, and I feel like if more sports fans use Twitter, I think they'll really be able to lead their team's colors.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.